What's up,
Yay!
everybody? This is Kenny Commons here, chilling with Kenny C. And I'm joined with a singer-songwriter originally from Pittsburgh, currently resides in Nashville. You just heard her single from last year called This Crazy. And she also got a special guest with her as well.
I
Her,
do. I am fostering this cat right now. His name is Louie. We named him Louie. I'm fostering through this organization here in Nashville. It's called Save and Stevie. And this cat, he came from like an abused home in Alabama. So right now I'm taking care of him until he finds his forever little home.
that's awesome. So obviously, people in TMV Cafe, they can't see the video, but they can hear the audio and they'll see the video later once it's uploaded and everything. But I'm so happy to have you on the show. The interesting thing is we've been following each other on Twitter for quite a while.
Yes.
And every now and then you get the notifications, so and so following you. I see Kelley is following me, and I'm like, okay, you know, let's hit that follow button. And then I noticed she's starting to like some of my tweets, especially the college football ones.
Oh, yes. I'm a huge college
Yeah.
football fan.
And we'll get to that in just a bit. On the music side, tell us about your music journey as far as you getting started into music. How did it start off for you?
Yeah, so I guess it kind of started when I was super young. I come from a family, I have a brother and two sisters, and they are all very tone deaf. They hate when I say this, but they cannot sing, they cannot hold a tune. So at Christmas time when my mom's playing the piano, it sounds like a bunch of dying cats. It's so funny. But my mom was the one who taught me how to sing, and she was a music teacher. So I was singing ever since I was young with my mom, like especially at church and all that stuff. And then I went to University of Pittsburgh and I got my degree in chemistry and I did some engineering work. And I wasn't singing that whole entire time. And then when I was working on my graduate degree at Pitt, I started to sing again. I started to write songs, came down to Nashville, met Leslie Fram from CMT, and she really inspired me to come down here. She invited me into CMT's artist mentorship program. And that was right before COVID in 2019 is when I moved down here and decided to pursue music full time because I was doing engineering and music at the same time in Pittsburgh. And I was driving down like every other week, and I'm an awful driver. Like, I'm just going to throw that out there. I am the worst at driving. I'm even worse at parking. So do not park close to me. You do not want me to park next to your car. I'm awful. So whenever you see me, I'm always like way in the back, like parked far away from everyone. So, but yeah, that's kind of how it started. I took a little bit of a break and I just came down to Nashville. And once I was down here, everybody is so amazing, like so good. And it's just like, I wanted to write with everyone that I could. And I've just been writing and playing out and all that fun stuff.
So with you going from Pittsburgh, which is kind of blue collar city,
Yeah.
also known for its sports fandom, if
Yes.
you will, and you make your way to Music City, that is Nashville, Tennessee. You've been there for a couple of years. You brought up you was there pre-COVID.
Yes.
As an inspiring artist yourself, that's trying to make a name for herself for this profession full time. How do you feel about your experience in Nashville thus far?
I mean, it's been amazing. So before I moved down here, one of the reasons why I didn't move down here sooner, besides like school and working on my graduate degree and my parents probably wanting to kill me for like not finishing my PhD and deciding to do music and being a kind of a little bit crazy. Besides all of that, I was really nervous about coming down to Nashville because like I said, it's Music City, right? Like everybody down here is amazing, like firing on all cylinders. Like they've been doing music, some of them like their whole lives. There's people who's been writing songs since they were like 10, 11. And I'm over here like, hi, how are you? Like, but that's kind of why I was a little bit nervous, but Nashville's totally different. Like it's so I hear all the time like it's different from LA or New York City. Like the moment that I came down here, especially with CMT, I just felt so welcomed. Like I was able to meet Sarah Evans, Tanya Tucker, Brandy Carlisle, like all these huge names of people that I look up to. And they were nothing but the sweetest people that I've ever met in my entire life. And they gave me such great advice.
I like Sarah Evans,
Yes.
and she's talented. I like her. I like Brandy Carlisle. I had the privilege of seeing her perform, I say 3 years ago, or close to
Yeah.
3 years. It was, I live in Lexington, Kentucky. They had a new festival called Whalebird, and she was one of the big name performers that night. And she is quite the performer, I must say.
She
I,
is. And she like her songwriting is out of this world. Like her voice and her songwriting is just amazing. Amazing. She's great.
yeah, so Brandy and the group that she's a part of with Mary Morris and a couple
Yeah, the
others,
High Woman. The
High
Highway
Woman.
Woman. Yeah.
Yeah, so the quote unquote country super group, or country
Yes.
girl super group, or however you want to categorize it.
Yes.
It is, I like that as well. Woman in country music definitely been making noise. There's no denying it. There's no and ifs or buts about it. Obviously, I've got to chat with a lot of women in country music, independent, unsigned, and they've all have seen the woman thriving a lot more. You ladies have faced so much challenges as far as radio play, getting the same opportunities as your male artists. Obviously, from your perspective as a female country singer, how are you feeling about the state of women in country music these days? Do you see that there's really some progress, or do you think that there's still some more work to be done?
So I mean, I definitely see some progress, and I have been so lucky. I like I said when I first moved down here, well, right even before I moved down here, I met Leslie Fram, and she has this organization called Change the Conversation, and it's about female and independent artists and just artists that you don't see all the time in country music, like artists of color. Like they're not really played as much as other artists. So having that change the conversation, being a part of that organization to try to uplift each other and try to work on ways where things can still be changed is amazing. It was like kind of a nice little safety net to land on when I first got here, because I had no idea about like radio play or anything like that. I'm just coming down to Nashville like, hi everybody, how's it going? But also I've been so lucky in Pittsburgh too. The radio stations up in Pittsburgh play my song, and Froggy Radio has been amazing in doing that. They played the song like 20 times a week, which for an unsigned artist is like crazy, right? That's unheard of because radio play is expensive for like labels and all that fun. So sorry, this little kitty wants to be a part of the interview too. He's like,
Shout out to the kitty.
yes, he's like, how can you be talking without me? But I have been so incredibly lucky to have met some people and make connections. But I think that there can still be work. And I think there is still work that's happening. And you see Mickey Guyton is singing the national anthem for the Super Bowl. And she is a powerhouse country singer. And I want to hear her songs more on the radio. Like she's amazing. She's out of this world. And so I'm so excited that she is getting the opportunity to sing the national anthem. And she's just is amazing.
You want to talk about a woman that is breaking barriers. Mickey Guyton is right up there. She definitely got my attention with the pandemic and everything is happening around us around at that time. And she really got my attention. I'm so used to, I've seen Cowboy Troy. I've seen a couple of very few men country artists. I haven't really seen much of women until Mickey came along, and she started, she really getting the conversations going. She's gotten backlash from it, which is unfortunate. but
Yes.
she's got your attention.
Yeah, and
And
she's not, I think it's because she's so authentic. She's just authentically her, and she's not scared to speak her truth or to like even help other people understand her truth, because I have no idea what she goes through every day. And especially like as a new mother. And then, like you said, so much backlash from people just like just her standing in her truth and just being herself and singing her songs. People are grumpy and mean to her. And like seeing some of the comments that she gets, is absolutely disgusting. Like it's awful.
yeah, I follow her on Twitter, follow her on Instagram. She puts the stuff out there, and yeah, it's unfortunate. Like country music, it's like there's some progress here and there, and the fact that Mickey's willing to really showcase herself and really put on for other women of color, she definitely got my respect in that regard, and I
Yeah.
really look forward to seeing her succeed, even with all the adversity that's facing her. So, props to Mickey, and hopefully we'll cross paths someday because I am a Mickey Guyton stan at this point.
Yes,
And
yes, me too. She's amazing. She's
yes,
great. And that's the thing about country music is they say this for a reason. It's three chords and the truth. So I honestly believe that anyone can write a country song, that anyone should be able to be a part of country music, because we're all living this life and we all have our own perspective on it, and we're all living through something. So that's why country music has such a big place in my heart. And that's why I feel like everybody should be able to be a part of it without people getting grumpy or annoyed. And I just, oh my goodness, he's trying to be the star of this interview. He's like, excuse me.
we appreciate animals on the show. It's all good. It's all good. So for you, Kelley, you got a song that came out last year called "This Crazy."
Yes.
So talk about the whole process of that song being put together.
Yeah, so I am not a bar fighting type of girl, but there was this one evening where I was at a bar in Pittsburgh, and this woman was just being so rude to like my friends and to people around me. And like, if you mess with my friends, I'm like, throw down. Just kidding, I'm not throw down, but I'm like, excuse me, like, what is your problem? Like, don't mess with my friends or family. Like, that's one thing you learn about me. So I'm very Italian. I don't like hold back at all. So I was like, excuse me, what is your deal? And we had just like caught into a little bit of a tiff, like, like you're just being so rude for no reason. Well, afterwards, like any normal person would do, drunk as hell, I call up my mom and she's like, what is got into you? I'm like, listen, like this woman was just crazy. And she's like, Kelley, you have to understand that some people, like, you don't know what they're going through. Like some people, they're not just crazy on their own. Like sometimes it takes a lot to be a little bit crazy. I was like, thanks, mom. Hung up the phone, called my friend Brittany Monroe. We decided to write together. And I'm like, listen, I have this crazy story about a night out in Pittsburgh. I want to tell a story about this craziness that happened, but from a different perspective where people can maybe take a step back and be like, oh, what's going on that someone can be this crazy? Because there's a lot of things that go into this life that can make you crazy. So that's kind of what this song was about after a night out at a bar in Pittsburgh.
That's quite fitting for Pittsburgh.
Yes, yes.
Very, very fitting. Um, like I said, it's a blue collar city.
Yes.
And the thing about Italians, they are bon appetit, very, conversational, but you get on their bad side, you're gonna get the business.
Yes. And then she wasn't even on my bad side. I don't even know what was going on. It might have been too much tequila.
I mean, you're at the bar with some friends, alcohol is there, a lot could happen. So
Yes.
yeah, something like that. So I'm joining Kelley Jeanne. Very happy to have her on Pittsburgh all the way to Nashville. This Crazy is her first single, at least on the platforms, from my understanding. So, can we expect some new music from you in 2022?
Yes, I'm so excited. I've been so lucky, like just meeting people here in Nashville. Like I said, it's people have been so welcoming and so opening that I had the opportunity to write with Brantley Gilbert's guitarist, Noah Henson, and we wrote a song. And it's actually I say this all the time. So when you hear about my new favorite song, it's because they're all my favorite. Like they're all my little babies, like my little song babies. But we just wrote a song together that we just recorded, and we're gonna have these players on it that are just amazing and out of this world. And it's called Country If I Want to Be. Because you hear all the time, like, oh, you're from up north, you're not country. And honestly, there's some places in Pittsburgh that are more country than Nashville. Like, let's be for real. Like, this is redneck Hollywood. Like, I feel like there's lots of places, like even way up north, that is like more country than Nashville. So it's like, man, you don't have to be from down south to be country. Like like I said, it's everyone can, like, it's a state of mind, it's a feeling, it's a living life type of thing. Yeah. So that's what that song is about. And then I have another song that I wrote with my drummer Cheryl Hill that I just recorded, and I'm actually in a songwriting competition tomorrow down here in Nashville, and I'm going to be performing this song, and I'm really excited. It's called Get Out, and it's a song about when you think you found a person, but you definitely did not. So it's a little bit sassy, it's a little bit grumpy. Yeah, so that's what that song is about. And I'm so excited to release both of them, hopefully very soon.
Sassy and grumpy. Okay, that's quite the combination.
Yeah, sassy and grumpy. I mean, when you come home and find some undergarments that are not your size,
yeah.
You become a little bit sassy and grumpy because they're not yours.
So I'm checking out your Twitter account at Kelley Jeanne _. And I like to read the bios. I like to see what people are saying, what they all about, get the good feel for them.
Oh gosh, I don't even remember what my bio says. I am literally the worst at Twitter. I love Instagram. I haven't figured out Twitter yet. Like, I love reading other people's things. I love liking things because I love Twitter. I get immersed in it because people are posting all the time and it's exciting. But me, I'm the worst at Twitter. The worst. So I don't even remember what I put in my bio. So I'm a little bit nervous.
So it says country singer-songwriter, making country grunge a thing.
Yes.
I like to write songs and eat. Pittsburgh, Nashville. IG at Miss Kelley Jeanne.
Yes.
So look, who doesn't like to write music and eat? And it has
the pizza. I love pizza. You want to know what? It's been hard. Hopefully no pizza places in Nashville listen to this. Maybe they will and let me know where they are. But I haven't found good pizza here in Nashville. Like, I don't know. I haven't tried everywhere, but I haven't found like really good pizza. We had some shows in Chicago right before the pandemic and everything shut down. And that deep dish pizza, oh my gosh, is so good. I'm so glad I don't live in Chicago because I'll probably be on the reality show like 600-Pound Life because that pizza is so amazing. And that's another thing that I should put in my bio. I love trashy reality shows, like 100%, like 600-Pound Life, 1,000-Pound Sisters, Real Housewives of every single city, 90 Day Fiance. Like, those are my go-tos. Every night I'm like watching something like that because it's nice.
She said Real House of everything.
Like yeah, all of them.
Like, it don't matter the city, just get some girls together, let them live for a couple of weeks, and let's film it together 24/7.
100%, yes.
I mean, reality TVs are a guilty pleasure, and anyone that says, I don't watch those things, well, you have.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
it could be, you can even watch The Bachelor.
Yes, there's this one show out now, Love After Lockup and Love Daring Lockup. Like, when and I'm like, wow, this is great. Like, I'm sitting there eating some food. I'm like, this is amazing. There's probably a country song in here. Like, maybe I should write a song about some of this stuff that's going on now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that is some good stuff.
And I was more of a VH1 junkie. back in the
Oh,
day.
yes.
I love New York, Flavor of Love, Love
Yes.
Away J.
Yeah.
Just
What
literally
was the
every.
other one? Tila Tequila or something like that? Was
Yeah,
that one?
I think that was on MTV.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved all that. Like the Bret Michaels one, that one was crazy. Yes, I love those. That brings me back. Yes.
I actually interviewed a couple of Waka Love girls, Lacey,
Ah,
the red hair. My
yeah.
favorite was Jessica, and I'm saying that because her her last name and my first name I kind of pronounce the same. It's spelled
Ah,
differently. Kenny,
okay.
Kenny. Her last name is Kenny, Kiini. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm a junkie, VH1 reality show
Love
junkie.
it. That's
One of
perfect. I know. I forgot about those two, like the VH1s, MTV ones, because there was like
yeah.
their Jersey Shore, Floribama, or stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. What was that? Sammy Sweetheart and all that fun.
yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, this is some stuff. Gym Tan Laundry. I remember that. I think I had a shirt back in the day that said Gym Tan Laundry, and I did none of those.
Yes, I love those shows. And anytime you get the reruns, it's like MTV's become the ridiculousness channel at this point. So they don't even play music no more. It's like Derek, whatever his last name is, he literally just became a co-owner of MTV, saying you just gonna get a ridiculousness marathon, and you'll probably get some music videos 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, and a lot of people either at work or on their way to work, so you don't even get to see the videos until early in the morning, depending on your shift work per se.
Yeah, I remember when MTV was about music videos.
Yeah,
Now, no, like you said, not anymore.
yeah. It's just drop the M, put a
Yes,
R, and
just
call
have
it
TV.
reality TV.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
So, so obviously, I want to get into some sports because you have been liking my tweets, college football more specific.
Yes,
So I'm gonna assume you are a fan of University of Pittsburgh since you
I'm a
are.
huge fan of Pitt football. Huge fan, and they did really well this year. And I was so happy because it's usually not like that. There's a saying called pitting, and it usually happens when they're winning, and then in the fourth quarter they do something stupid and they lose, and that's when we call it pitting. But this year that didn't happen all that much. It was great. I went to the Tennessee Pitt game, and I actually was so lucky, and this was one of the highlights of my last year. I got to perform at the tailgate, the Pitt tailgate, ahead of time, and I got to perform an original song. Then I got to sing Sweet Caroline, which is a song that they always, I think a lot of colleges do it, but the song that Pitt plays all the time. So uh it was just such a huge highlight of mine being able to do that because I've been such a huge Pitt fan. Like when I went to Pitt as an undergrad, I had season tickets. When I was a grad student, I had season tickets, and doing research for them, I had season tickets, and I was there all the time. And hopefully one day when I get signed to a label or I hit it big, I can get season tickets and go all the time to Pittsburgh and watch Pitt. I'm a huge college football fan. I'm a football fan in general. I don't have a specific professional team that I love because my dad was in the Navy, so he moved around a lot. So Pittsburgh is home for me because that's where I went to college and that's where I was the longest. Most of the time I was moving around my whole life. So I don't have like a specific team that I love, but I'm a huge football fan. So I love watching it. So I'm excited I don't watch the Pro Bowl. I don't know why. I'm just not a huge fan of it, but I will be watching the Super Bowl next weekend, and I will be cheering for the Rams because Aaron Donald is one of my favorite players, and he is from Pitt.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is a Pitt guy. He's a beast.
He
There's no
is.
denying about it. He's literally accomplished every individual award that you could think of, except for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Now, I give kudos to Pitt, the football team, because they do have a quarterback by the name of Kenny,
Yes.
and he's made quite the name for himself. He ended up being the Heisman Trophy candidate, and he did the fake slide.
Yes, I know, which now there's a new rule, the Kenny Pickett rule, basically, which, to be honest, I'm like, I don't think that's a necessary rule, but whatever, that's fine. He'll live on in infamy, I guess. But I was very surprised because watching Kenny play, he started playing for Pitt even before he moved down to Nashville. And I'm not gonna lie, was not the biggest fan of his at first. I didn't think he was going to become what he did, but you can tell someone who obviously put in the work and the dedication, and he showed, I mean, a Heisman candidate. I want to see where he's going to go in the draft. Like, that's so exciting. And it's nice to see him succeed like that and to really lift up Pitt's program, because now we got all these transfers for the upcoming year that possibly wouldn't have happened if Pitt didn't succeed as much this year. So I'm very excited to see where Pitt football goes. And so is Louis.
Shout out to Louis. I will say, as it pertains to Pitt, I think y'all won the conference this past season.
Yes.
Anyone other than Clemson wins that particular conference got my respect, and the fact that you got a quarterback named Kenny. Now I live in Kentucky, but I was an Ohio person, so yeah, I am a fan of Ohio State. And there's some Buckeyes on that Bengals team. So, we're going to be on the odds on Super Bowl.
Oh, no. Okay, well, now I will definitely use Twitter to make tweets on Super Bowl Sunday against you. I will be like, at Kenny, you're going down.
Hey, bring it on. Bring it on.
Yes.
I can take it. I can take it. But this has been a very fun interview. I definitely enjoyed chatting with you. We talked about all sorts of things. Go check out Kelley's song, This Is Crazy. It's on all the platforms. Go check it out. And great having you on the show. We've been on for nearly a half an hour, so this is wonderful. And just good to have you.
Thanks for having me. Like, I love talking to you and like love football. I can talk about football for like hours. So you don't even want to get me started. Or even hockey. I love hockey. So I love sports in general. It's crazy.
I can watch hockey a little bit. I'm just more into the fights per se.
Are you watching UFC tonight?
What's that?
Are you watching UFC fights tonight?
Oh yeah. I like UFC. I like some hockey. I like some things here and there. Yeah,
I didn't know if you were like saying like because of the fights in hockey you might like UFC, because I know there's a fight on and I try to watch it, but sometimes like if there's someone who looks like close to like resemble somebody I know, like my family, there was this one fighter who looked like my brother once and he was getting his butt beat and I was like crying because I was like, oh my God, like what if that was my brother and I'm seeing him getting beaten up like that? Put me in. Just kidding.
And on that note, thank you so much, Kelley, for being on. Thank you to your kitty for making her presence felt. I look forward to hearing your new music, and we'll definitely keep in touch on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure I'll be getting some tweets from you on Super Bowl Sunday, especially Aaron Donald, Sax, Joe Burrow. Leave that guy alone. That's
I know, Joe Burrow. I mean, he's been doing amazing, right?
Yeah. Look, we love him at Ohio State. We still do. So that's that. So thank you, Kelley. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll definitely keep in touch moving forward.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun. Thank you.
All right, you have a good night. Wave goodbye.
Bye.
That was Kelley Jeanne. Yeah.